Well. Hello. Welcome to another one of one-on-one coaching. This is getting easier as I go, I think. I'm not sure if they're getting any good, but at least it's getting easier to get on here and do something about it. So this is episode 29, and I think this is my last one on this idea of pain, mainly because I'm trying to forget some of the things that I've gone through. But I wanted to share quickly what these five ideas or five steps that Maxwell gives in the book to turn bad experiences into positive ones, or get growth out of your bad experiences. And he talks about five different points. The first one, I'm just going to list them out and then maybe speak a little bit into each one of them. Um, Number one is choose a positive life stance. Number two is embrace and develop your creativity. Number three is embrace the value of bad experiences. Number four is make good changes after learning from bad experiences. And number five is take responsibility for your life. So number one is choose a positive life stance. I know many people talk about this and it sounds very cliche. It sounds very difficult, especially when you're in the middle of the yogurt of life hitting the fan and you're struggling, so you have a very difficult chance to believe, or just being positive and saying positive things are gonna change everything for you. The fact is that they won't change right away. I think for me, what has helped me to be able to go from a very realistic, in quotes, person, someone that focused on all the things that could go wrong and got trained on doing it, finding out all the problems and trying to fix them, to someone that has a more positive perspective on the things that can happen and the things that you expect to happen in life. I think the idea of having a positive stance helps you see more of the good inside of the bad. It helps you see that there's hope, that there's opportunity to create something new. Sometimes you get stuck in traffic and you miss a meeting. You may not know at that specific point in time if that missing that meeting is a good thing, but maybe it was. Maybe that opens the door to an opportunity. Maybe there was an accident happens at the place you were going and you're kind of like saved from that stress. Who knows? Um, the positive stance is not really as a fix everything and everything's going to be roses and rainbows. It's more about keeping you in a mindset or in an energy that allows you to see possibility. Number two is the one about embrace your creativity. This one is just maybe sometimes when the phrase, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. So people make margaritas. Um, I think the idea of being creative is just use your energy, that stress energy or whatever is called this energy, negative emotion that is being created by these bad experience. Maybe you can use it to create a new solution or be playful with the circumstances. Obviously, you can't do that in every single situation, but it's the idea of maybe with the creativity and becoming more resourceful in the way you address the situation. It's going to help you develop the skills that can push you much farther forward in your success. Number three was embrace the value of bad experiences. I think this relates to number one, the idea of being able to see that most likely if you learn from your failures, all those bad experiences actually make you who you are today. Those experiences were stepping stones into whatever level of success you have today. Now, if you have never learned from it, most likely it hasn't really helped you any. But this is about there's value in our failures because not only we learn to appreciate successes, we also learn to get better at our craft. We learn to identify the things we can ignore, or the things that we need to delegate to someone else, or we need to hire somebody else to do them because we're not good at it. These bad experiences can help us become stronger, become more patient, and things like that. One example that comes to mind in regards to this is there were two events with, I would say HR, but there were two events with HR that happened in about 3 months separation. The first one was me writing a blog that someone took it as me bad mouthing a company or bad mouthing a program that we had, and it really wasn't that. It was me explaining how it wasn't a fit for that specific situation, and not that the company was bad or the program was bad. I was simply saying, no, I don't think I can be there or uh, be a satisfactory employee in that situation. And I had to learn to be patient. I had to learn to stand my ground and be respectful in my delivery while still justifying the reasons and the situations that were happening. Interesting enough, 3 months later, I get into an issue with HR, and it's a whole different thing. It's in a similar miscommunication type problem, but in a much more serious situation, and I was able to handle that situation better simply because I had the prior before. So that's a good example of the value of bad experiences if you learn to adapt from them. The number 4 is make good changes after learning from bad experiences. Listen, it doesn't really matter if you read or if you go to a seminar, if you don't apply and change the way some of the things that you do based on what you allegedly learned from the experience, it doesn't really matter. So you have to apply something new, try something new, and execute on it so you don't actually miss out on the teaching and the lesson that was from it. And number 5 is take responsibility for your own life. And I touched on this before. Honestly, when it comes down to it, you are responsible for what you think about a specific situation and how you react to it. Between that, what is it? Between the trigger and response, there's a space, and that's where responsibility stands, because that's where you have this ability to respond in a specific way. Um, it's the same thing. Once you learn that you're responsible for everything that happens to you, not necessarily in a physical sense, but the way that you experience the world, it's all dependent on you. It's all dependent on what you think about the experience, what are your beliefs around it, and how you react to it and what you do with it. Everything is you. You're the common denominator in all of it. It doesn't really matter who's doing it to you or whatever. You're responsible for it. Once you know that, it's so much easier to go through life because you're not blaming other people for your failures. You're not hating or holding grudges because somebody did you bad things, or you're simply not stressing about what other people are going to do because you are in control. So that's my teaching. Hopefully it helps. I'll see you on the next one. It might be a next chapter or it might be something else. Bye.